Hello.
Hello.
Blues 1333.
Hello, beautiful people.
How
How
you
are you
doing?
doing?
I love you, baby.
I love you too,
Look,
baby.
I'm gonna use this ball of crystal to do a clean, just to
Arc field.
neutralize and protect the auric field. Or, you know,
Puesto, mi amor.
we do this as our work tool. All right.
We've charged it already.
You can tell. We'll do a video someday about this, as much as we know about it. So.
Which is this is a beautiful stone. So let's clear the arc fields. Set our intentions of protection.
Clean energy.
So from our beach bedroom, straight to your
To
homes and your hearts with love. So today we have a lot of things going on, but a lot. We've been going through a lot. We've gone through a lot of situations. But I'm gonna leave you to explain it. You, baby, you're so good at it.
You, my love.
You just gotta get into the mojo.
You're so good too, and it's just about hi everybody. This is just something that is just coming up as a result of the hard work we have done on issues of the shadow, childhood, facing the truth about things, not taking things for face value, and little by little the fog starts clearing when you are able to see what have taken place, be able to accept it, no matter how bad or how worse it can be in your mind or in your understanding of things, because we as humans, especially for twin flames that are on mission and in union, my baby.
Yes, my love.
We go through these things.
We go through it over and over again, and what we've been working on is the shadow work and the childhood trauma, but revisiting the portion of free will gone riot with our inner child. So,
You know, mind in which we didn't have a clue at all what was taking place in our lives, and in this case, well, we just found out. You can see in our other videos just lately. We are meant all to be born under in family where you get the love of the parents, and things go according to what is conceived as the will of God. Except that there has been a lot of irregulations, let's say, dissociations, and many other terms that we have learned lately that have take us to this point.
we're not psychologists. We are a twin flame couple in union for 19 years, and we have been peeling an onion that every time that we peel another one and another one, it gets more profound. And we already have come down to the situation right now where we have been dealing with a narcissistic family structure, which we have. If you look at our other videos, please check them out. You'll see our comments on that and our experience. And it's been pretty harsh. But at this point, what we're working on now, after we have come to the conclusion of unmasking and unraveling our true family dynamic where we come from, we believe that has passed to a certain degree, and we're in another level right now. So it's not that our family has passed; it's that we have disassociated and distanced ourselves from our immediate family, because we have set boundaries, and we have also chosen to not be continue to be the scapegoat of the narcissistic family module. So we want to work into becoming more, we would say,
on the healing side maybe of things.
we are working on healing and on relearning our parenting skills, as well as our communication skills, as well as our abilities in many other areas of our lives regarding ourselves. And now we have arrived today on a very positive note, because we have come to the conclusion that there's always, always, always a pot at the end of the rainbow, no matter how much it rains. And today I started to smile again, and we went through. This is a family dynamic that has been broken already. For our understanding, the twin flames have worked on it. We have worked front end on this, and we believe that the world is in a changing point at this point, hopefully. But we will tell you more about that in our book. For what we want to talk to you today is mainly something that I'm going to give the word to my husband. He needs a few moments until he gets into his channeling, and then I'll talk.
So where we are in there's so many things that come to my mind to speak about, to say, since we are looking down the journey. In my case, and the others too, we've seen how little by little, an example that's coming to me is like watch a bird fly, and okay, so that's what birds do. They travel through the air like humans can do, and that's their way of moving around. But you don't know how it feels like until you jump in an airplane, and then go, okay, so this is what flying is about, and in a degree, no. So when we have my case heard so many expressions, so many people telling you, but it's as simple as doing this, as simple as doing this, as simple as doing this. Take a look at that, take that, and you see it, and you see it, and you go, but what? Until you continue doing that road less travel, like from our great friend, a book that we, I guess we're all friends. Author, writer, Wise. What's his name?
And Wise? Are you sure?
Wise, yeah.
He's the one who did the road less travel?
The road less travel, So,
We'll check. I will confirm you in a minute.
Edgar, well, check, baby love. Thank you, my love. Okay. The power of love, combined with many other things, is always the leading force into any situation.
It's
regarding
actually a book by that's
shadow work.
Scott Peck.
Scott Peck. Okay, so sorry about that. I'm still in shock.
So how about, look, we did some shadow work with a childhood trauma that came up, because let's start by saying, and please, I'm going to just take a little moment to ask you a couple of questions, maybe, to see how you felt.
Yes.
To begin with, this channel is for Twin Flames. In reality, this channel is advice and our experience, which we're sharing as Twin Flames with you guys as we progress on our journey. So, we are a Twin Flame couple in union, and we have been together for quite many years. Our journey has not been an easy journey, and each day we're like, you never get used to it totally, but you cannot get unused to it either. Right. So it's we vibrate at a higher frequency than normal couples do, and a lot of it is expected of us. We feel that it is expected of us, and from our own expectation for the volunteer work that we're doing here. So this embarks doing new patterns and molds that other people don't do. In our particular case, we've been working on the development of within the twin flame to maintain the unity, and also to break down the barriers of the masks, and to unite the inner child with all the different parts of our personas, no? Because we have different personas. We have dealt with the ego, we have become enlightened multiple times, and we've dealt with spiritual egos. Now we're dealing with neurodivergency, and we are nailing down what is specifically, as twin flames coming from a narcissistic module, what is going to be the solution for the generations to come. So we're working on this module of how to assist also the narcissistic parent, if there is one, and if that parent has the possibility to get into any type of we don't believe this hard cut no for no one, and no like you're evil and you're not good. I'm sorry. Right. That's not the human experience. We do not believe that the human experience can naturally be evil. Right. We have believed that there can be evil intentions and choices that people make, but in reality we believe that people that are in that pathway are stuck in their generational generational curses from their families, and or at the same time they are completely unaware. So we can't
severe trauma,
and severely traumatized.
Right.
So we don't have we have coaches out there, and then there's psychologists, and we have found a couple of them which we follow that have helped us in our research within ourselves. But still, we continue to each day unravel another portion and another possibility for the unveiling of the true human self, no?
Yeah.
Which we are developing at this point, because we have just brought it down. It's like a tower that we have brought down over and over again. An ego that we have broken over and over again. And
it's so
it's not easy. It's not easy.
After everything that have taken place in our path, in our journey, you can see videos of us going through these stages, these scenarios where we're totally unknown. I mean, tell me a story of a pizza, and I was like, wow, that's the story of a pizza. Now, if the story is true, then you're like, wow, that story of a pizza is true. It could happen to anyone, and this have been developing.
We suffering from the disassociation from our inner child to then your inner child, once it is exposed, being completely self-consumed and being at odds with people and situations which had to take place, and which we do not deny. This is something that we have gone through, and we continue to go through.
Shadow work.
But today it's a completely different outlook, and that's where I'm gonna leave you, baby.
We can smile a little bit today. Today we can smile a little bit, and we can feel a little bit relaxed, because it's so hard to explain how. Okay, so life is not easy and all of that. Twin flames, of course, come with a very tough mission on their shoulders, voluntarily in it, and discovering what was the purpose of this incarnation, or this time around. Totally accepted, just going through the like a maze or a puzzle, putting it together. You have to first break it apart. You can't see the puzzle all together, but you just get pieces all over the place, and you have to take one piece to match another piece, and then another piece. But the thing is that you don't know what the whole picture looks like in the puzzles that you put together. And when you start revealing, you start wondering, and in this case, because of the times, the twin flames are here, it's extreme to the max, and also how it gets overwhelmingly sometimes fascinating, sometimes sad, and but losing the fear of looking at it, experiencing and accepting that there might be a possibility that if you grew up in a narcissistic family or severe abuse family, which is the case of probably 97% of humanity, probably, I'm not sure, but for what I have experienced and seen, and each one is of each twin flame in this case, or I mean that we're working on this, because there's the other one, the other rest of the population that is totally not a twin flame, not in union, not gonna be in union, but is living through these things or have not lived through this. There's no more, because there was another twin flame that did the work before, and they don't have to be born under those circumstances. But in this case, this time around, on this twin flame, Bruce on 333 in the house, loving my wife, my life. I mean, my wife is. I mean, I love you, baby. Yeah, it's, I mean, there's no way I could have done this without her, or her work without me. You know, that's why we're together and doing this for these families, for these bloodlines. It's very clear that that is the purpose of our being here, and we didn't do it any other way. We didn't change it for anything else. What a great honor and blessing to be able to be part of this amazing, amazing, amazing journey.
Well, baby, you know that right now what we're dealing with is something very emotional. So when we come out to you guys, we don't stage anything. We don't plan anything. We just sometimes announce it, sometimes no. It's spontaneous. And right now we've been dealing with our inner children that has been interpreting or overly reading from a place of self-consumed pain. So we just realized that.
Yeah.
So we have a whole bunch of writings here. So we're going to go straight, because I believe that part, you'll have to see it in the book. We're going to go straight to the beginning of a new therapy that we have started for our latest found child trauma. Our real inner child. The traumatized one, the one that is today grew a lot. I feel very good about that, very proud in both of our cases.
Recién salito del horno, calientito está esto.
Yes.
This is just fresh. I mean, for the first time, I'm telling you, sorry to interrupt you, baby.
No problem.
Felt for the first time. I can tell you for sure that today is the first time in my life that I have felt my inner child living behind.
How did that
behind
feel?
This chest?
How did you feel, baby?
Behind these eyes, where your child is like experiencing all this life and the times before. At one point, while we were with Eva going through the newfound reasons why people or these twin flame, well, my experience have felt going through so many things that I couldn't decipher or understand. Why am I gonna raise my voice in that way? Or you have seen some Neurod Divergent videos. Where did that come from? You know, it's it's a result of these type of traumas that, if you believe that you are on earth without having to work on these things, where you are going to have to reconsider that you might have a trait of or depending on the case of the family where you are or what you have gone through, but we are experiencing it. Traits of narcissism, abuse, alcoholism, child neglect, abandonment, you name it, and more. But those are reserved for the book, that we're gonna write, because we are documenting everything in its various ways. So
we are writing.
Correct, and we can give this information to you, and the one that is going to be watching these videos, and hopefully, and I'm sure that this path for the case of what we're going through will help the next one, for sure. for sure. All these years dedicated to this, because when you become aware of your part of what is your granito de sal, you jump in 100%. You jump in totally. There's no other way around. There's no reason for you to be existing right now or be alive than to deal with these situations that are going to contribute in a mild way. I like to think so. How somebody else can benefit from all these years of happiness. Like, how do you, the good, the ugly, and the bad of humanity. What do you think, baby love?
Baby, I think that we have done a lot of progress. We have gone from a horror movie that we were looking at, because we were looking at a horror movie. A lot of people call it the lower astral. In reality, in a twin flame module, you can actually bring about what you focus on. So today we've gone through about maybe 30 pages of writing, I would say, right? In which we profoundly express the situation with the inner child and the discoveries that we made, newfound discoveries that we have never read before, and we have never seen before. And but we have come up with some quite ingenious ideas on our higher self, thanks to our higher selves, and thanks to Jesus, and thanks to the guidance of the Holy Spirit, because we always have to give thanks to the Holy Spirit and to Jesus and God, that we are able to discern, the good, the bad from the ugly, and then also accept and not resist. The path of less resistance is the path of acceptance. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
And we started off that way. We have to just accept that what we're feeling is legitimate, whether it is not legitimate for anybody else. It is individually legitimate for each one of us. We don't have to agree. We don't have to disagree. We don't have to oppose. We don't have to control. We don't have to elaborate. We don't have to exaggerate. We don't have to defend. We don't have to justify. Just accept. Whatever you're feeling, accept it. Feel it for a few seconds.
Yeah.
Embrace that feeling and then let it go. And that is the best advice that we can give any twin flame. Because holding on, and this is your individual, your journey, but when it's meaning about clearing the bloodline that you will have to do, because this is in every single case, it's apart from your mission. You have part of your journey is to be able to clear that bloodline. Okay? So to do that, do not reject it. Do not resist it. Do not try to control it. You will try to analyze it multiple times until you realize that you no longer want to head into that route. But that is an individual stop. Right, baby?
Yeah, my love. Yeah, you said it so well. It's hard to add more, but I could say in this latest part of the journey, I came to feel that the reason why so many times we continue to fail and repeating the same thing, expecting a different result, or doing the same thing, and I felt deeply in myself that what I was doing when I was facing in front of the calamity, the chaos, that like it cannot be. No, there's no way that So I start into denial. I jump into denial, like like there's no tomorrow. There's no way that because of me. Maybe as an example, my child only writes with the left hand, and you're like, because to be right in I'm cursed, and I should I'm a being that have done things right and this and that and da. We're gonna talk about it someday. We're gonna discuss it. This could happen. So it's like, can it be my fault? And it takes so many years just to break through and say, you know what? So what if it's my fault? So what if that happened? In order to know that, you need to find out what's happening to you. I mean, wow.
The shadow work is that itself. You have to embrace that. All of that was in the shadow. You have to integrate the parts of yourself. It's part of integrating and
Not running
figuring
away.
out the self that you truly are.
Right, which is damaged, because otherwise we wouldn't be going through this, I guess. Maybe we'll be already,
And how did you feel when you, for example, give us an example. What happened when you go out? How did you perceive the moment that you saw your inner child within you? How did you actually feel that?
There was a moment while we were going into the shadow, my shadow, or my wonderful twin flame. It felt like I was at some point in my childhood, at some age, feeling I don't feel like it's how I moved like going through back in time or something like that, where I felt the garbage truck outside, and it resonated with my with the experience of the trauma that was taking place at that time. And I felt myself being that child at that age, going through that moment. I mean, I could almost, in a figurative way, perceive, somehow can see, even though my eyes were not there, but what I was, my memory or whatever, that moment, could tell the color of the walls, the effects on the walls. It was so vividly the sound of the truck in the morning with the humidity, which is not right now happening. It's a whole different different climates where that part of the childhood trauma was happening to where I'm at right now. And I said, oh my God, that's that child. That's my child. I am that child. And it was damaged. And now it's being
Did you go ahead and you embrace that child? Did you hug your child? Did you welcome it into you? Did you say hello?
Well, it was not necessary. It's strange. Maybe more. Hey, it's like running to Chaplin and say, "Hi, Chaplin," and you are Chaplin. How do you say that? How do you embrace Chaplin when you're Chaplin? You say hi to yourself.
Exactly.
And there you go. And then it's like, oh, okay. So this is what, when I was a child, because years ago, I'm not a child anymore. That what happened, and it caused this as a result. And now, this deviation of this as a correction, which is not a correction; it's more an acceptance to let go, knowing that those no longer applies. And this is, if this is what's caused, then this is how. It's like knocking the door. Knock on the door and it will be open. Yeah, you have to get there.
But what was it? And was it the moment that you said, "Let's just feel it, and let's just embrace it"? That was the moment that you connected. The moment that you decided to just say, "I'm just gonna feel this for 30 seconds."
Right. I'm not gonna look the other way, try to avoid it, try to deny it. No, it did happen, and it felt real. It just felt real, like teletransportation or something like that. I went to that moment, and it's part of one of those moments,
And one of those moments, baby, is a moment that you actually brought a piece of yourself that had.
Oh wow. That was lost somewhere in some dungeon.
You just got it back, a piece of yourself, which
I did not recollect. It's like a memory wipe that we go through as a childhood. It's an ego part of it. I believe there's 3 parts of the ego more. We have dealt with alter ego, and then I think there's one more, which is probably the one we are going through right now. It's like the ultra.
Well, you have the body, you have the trauma body, and then you also have the trauma body, and then the projection upon yourself. Like in my case, I thought I saw myself projecting towards myself, completely disassociated from my inner child, when I didn't know that. Pero in your case, where your child is there, for what I see,
Oh,
right?
right. Yeah, you see, it's the dynamic and how it changes between us, but we have the love to tell each other, confront each other. That was hard, very hard.
Well, to get there, you know,
because we have to.
we have to
It's
break.
exactly, one breaks the other, and it's like like the weakest link, and then
And then you flip.
and then poof, and then poof, and then you go pa, and then and things start developing, and the help comes. The help comes from our higher self, from universe, from God for sure, because that's where
Jesus,
the source. That's all.
Holy
Jesus,
Spirit,
Jesus, our
angels,
Lord, angels, light workers, and then
strangers.
even the opposite side, or the other self that might be many possibilities, are like many possibilities.
We
That
have encountered, like, when you encounter
could be
today
your own
this,
self, trying to sabotage your own self, not to get there because of. I mean, it just we just got here, and we still have a lot to work and a
well,
lot to
no, we didn't
process.
just get here. We got to another level.
Well,
It's kind of
you
like a
got
video
here
game.
before me, that's for sure, because you've been telling me these things for a while, which couldn't
Like
register.
what things, baby?
Like about the ego, let's say. At some point, I said, I have no ego. You look at me like, you serious? So thank you, my love.
But what things? What resonated with you of the things that I told you?
Well, I try not to spoil more a better way of putting it, but for sure you have told me a lot of things that now they make total sense, that I couldn't make sense out of it because it was blinded. I was blinded by trauma, and God knows, only God knows, Jesus knows what else is there to be seen or to uncover, which totally twin flame journey.
So today, we could say that you recuperated a broken piece that was floating out there.
Maybe not floating, maybe drowning. Who knows?
Or maybe in the forefront, baby.
Or in the front, or in one of the elements. I have not elements. I mean, yeah. In that room, I just found myself in that room, saying, "What is going on here?" Thinking that I have felt myself being. I mean, I have memories, but they have come down to most of those memories were already distorted. Memories that look like vacations, and they were not vacations, but the other. Yeah.
So, baby, in a positive note, what would be your conclusion regarding this? And you have to elaborate a little bit. I mean, not tell everything for the book, I understand, but we're here 33 minutes and you have to just
the only
grab this, baby.
because it's exhausting. It's exhausting. I'm exhausted. The amount
Well,
of
you
work
wrote in here that
we haven't slept. Red Bull,
I don't want to see those things, baby.
well, I have to because it's true. I'm exhausted right now of all the work that we have. Both you and me. I'm drinking coffee. Red Bull.
Mataí, danza peruana, what is it?
Yeah. Toro Mataí.
Toro mata.
Yeah. We have so much to say, but right now I'm getting a little bit processing so much info. Data, truth.
Look, in
division
essence,
between myth and reality.
you wrote all of this, baby. Why don't you read a little bit of your notes? You wrote this, and tell them a little bit about something.
Okay. Well, it's it has to do. So late for the last part, the last time we realized the carry of traits of narcissistic families, abuse, and all of that, and how have affected me or in my life totally. And then which is in the last video. So now we are at I'm at we just came down to knocking the door on a neurodiversion, right?
Yep.
So that's the one thing that leads to ODD, ADD, ADHD, and a total gamma of different colors in psychology
We looked
on
into
understanding that
we
never.
looked into a oppositional defiant disorder that you think that maybe you could have had some of that when you were a child
Or then
as
I
being
could,
raised, or
yeah.
and
So now we have to. I'm sorry babe, to interrupt you.
but yet again, in a very distinct way, like not in a very covert way.
Right.
Covert way, like not in front of everyone, particularly, pero a lot of things. Like for example, there was an incident where you talked about a situation that took place between your mother and your aunt.
Oh yeah.
And in that moment, you felt the tug and the push and the pull of the two of them completely disregarding you, how you felt, and that completely invalidated your intention for Mother's Day, for the card. Remember?
Yeah.
That was harsh, but that was very enlightenment too,
Right.
because you realize that they're just their behavior of both of them was improper, and your behavior was actually that of the scapegoat.
No.
Your mother put you in that position,
Yeah.
and then your aunt actually also put you in that position in an emotional way. Your children see black and white. So what your aunt was trying to do was actually correct your mother, and she was coming and doing the same thing to you, your aunt, by
No judging anymore. No judging for sure, but
by having the same behavior. That same pattern of behavior is the behavior that you later learned that you did also with others, especially with your children.
and my children.
So we're looking at our pattern, at our parenting skills, and we have come to realize that our communication skills are not that great with our children. So we are also having a live therapist advise us in the proper way of communication, because everything that we learned,
That's
is
the only way you
actually
can do this.
not
You
that
need
great.
somebody to help
Yeah.
you, a professional to help you with these mental issues, these dynamics of abuse.
To
that child goes
restructure a
through.
dynamic based on proper cognitive patterns, and at the same time give us the key, that we're doing this also with a therapist. So not one, like a couple, like several, in different aspects.
One takes you to the next.
Yes. So the next time that we talk, he's gonna talk about this. Tell him about what you're doing here.
Okay, so part of the notes that we're taking today in this new understanding of, or first understanding of the issues that have affected the inner child inside this chest, it starts with not taking yourself so seriously. So as as I was listening, we were listening to the psychologist, a young psychologist. He was describing my feelings for the first time in my life. That for sure they have been going through. Ever have seen me acting out like that, but I couldn't see it like an acting out on a defect of character, on a result of a trauma abuse thing, but as a personality trait that is common. I mean, who shouldn't? I mean, how dare you can think in a different way? Well, guess what? Yeah, how dare is insane. So, and it's not trying to rectify the situation or the trauma by acting now in a different way. No, it's like treating the trauma with psychology and with help, and that's what we're doing. So not taking yourself so seriously helps alleviate the weight of that acknowledgement that I just acquired, that didn't want to recognize, because it will point the finger at me as being guilty of a situation, like when watching my daughter go to ballet class and then she making a wrong move and then me going like, oh my god, how embarrassing, but she's my daughter, how can, no, you have to be perfect because you're my daughter. And then you start going to a trauma. You need to start denying everything that because of your fault, because you did it. Yeah, okay, yes. It had to be. Who else is responsible for that child? Accept it, take responsibility of it. Yes, an abused child will give abuse. You give what you receive. And but this is always hope, and a great news, because at least I can identify that was happening to me, So ¿qué dirán, or who will say if there is a Kurt's daughter has a problem with ballet because she cannot make this move and it looks oh my god, they're making fun of her. They're gonna look at moi and make fun of me because who's the father? That's the father. He's the one guilty of, and it's so insane. But how do you know if life seems to be pretty normal that way, and that's the way that's being processed? And now, as the result of last week, inner work, shadow work, together with my twin flame, Bulusan 23,
in the house.
I love you, baby. We came down to this. So now we can have the fearless option, position to knock down that door, to go through it and say what happened here and what can be done now, and how I can not continue to repeat the same behavior affecting the people around me, which I was totally blinded to that concept, that my behavior, thinking that it was the right behavior to have under a certain situation, was correct. It's not. It's not. And like last week, I thought it was just over, and now I can maybe it's time to relax a little bit. Just work on the trace. Now we have a Neurod Divergent. I invite you to look it up. We're gonna talk about it more because it has so many ramifications and branches that some are applicable to this condition or to my family journey bloodline that I was born into. That came to clear, which and the one that maybe you went through, or Valeria's going through, or Eva's going through, or members of her side of the family and members of my side of the family. But the only way to do it is detaching. We have to detach in order to be able to see it, because we are there, and it will be all written. The process to get here, how we got here, is necessary. You cannot. There's no way you can get to this point without detaching from the family disease which you carry, or you are now see, you have two ways: or you become narcissistic, or you're an empowered empath, or something like that, and this, when you are in this case, this twin flame case, on the other side of the abuse as a victim, then you become the abusive. Like when they told me a friend of my wife was hanging out with a friend of mine, or that went to school with me, to high school with me, and she comes to tell me, my friend was telling me that you were asking about how was your. My wife asked to my school friends how was, which I went to from beginning to end, primary, kindergarten to high school. 12 years, repeated 1 year. What happened? How was Kurt? Andy? They go like, oh yeah, Kurt, yeah. He was a bully. I'm like, what are you talking about? Me bully? No, I was being bullied, and I was just protecting Wait a minute. I was. So, I acted like a bully because I was bullied. So you give what you receive. It's harsh, guys. It's harsh. It's harsh to come down to.
Or the belief, for example, that he had a belief. He had a belief. No, I was looking up something so that I can explain to you guys. Okay. Neurod Divergent, because we didn't have anything prepared for this, but it's a belief that he had that saying bad words was actually cool and typical of Peruvians, when in reality that wasn't true.
Yeah, that was a harsh one too.
And I'm like, I'm Peruvian. I'm very much Peruvian. I actually, unlike you, I was truly born in Peru, and I have friends, and in reality, they don't speak like that.
Right, 57 is speaking like with the slang of a 14-year-old in Peru, living like, oh, you're like, what are you doing?
Very terrible situation.
I realize what.
But then these are the things that we have to deal with, right? These are the things that we have to deal with. They're not pretty things, pero the path of least resistance and no controlling. We're in another phase now. Is just let go of it, absorb it, assimilate it, and say, yeah, that's where we're still right now. So neurodivergence is, according to this, it says someone whose brain processes information in a way that is not typical of most individuals. So there's different types of neurodivergency, but I'm just going to give you a broad thing. Neurodivergent people have difficulty with social interactions. They have difficulty with communication, processing sensory information, issues with focus and concentration, intense interest in a particular topic or activity, stuck in repetitive behaviors or routines, difficulty following instructions, difficulty organizing thoughts, and it's a term to describe individuals with neurological differences that cause them to think, learn, and process information differently from the majority of the population. This could include ADHD, dyslexia, autism, dyscalculia, other conditions, auditory processing disorder, OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, ODD, oppositional defiant disorder, bipolar disorder, very, 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 very many different types of
my soup is cold disorder.
Right. Difficulty with filtering out external stimuli, difficulty organizing well, I already said that. So Google it. That's how we did it. And there is a chart that if you contact us directly and you're interested, we will send you the material that we worked with. This is just a little basic information. But right now, we are very happy to let you know that we are starting with 4 facts that we are going to work on as a therapy for the latest found child trauma, the inner child. And he wrote this down, so okay, we will start next time on that. In the meantime, this is all the sharing that we're going to do for today. If you have any questions about this, please let us know. And it's very hard for us to do these type of videos. We do it so that you can actually see the reaction, the emotional reaction.
Anxiety, all
kind
of emotions
you can actually take a look at Kurt and you can see the inner child struggling and the persona trying to integrate all the personas. So this is just part, and we will continue next time. So Blue Swan 333
house.
In the house. Anything else you want to say, baby?
I just feel like crying right now. It's very emotional. There's nothing wrong with crying. It's a good thing that we are in this stage. And so, be brave to flames. It's okay.
Baby,
But let's,
feel it,
let's unrelease.
feel it for 30
Feel it.
seconds. No, just release it.
It will be okay.
And you can, I advise you guys that if you're gonna do this type of stuff, get your crystals.
Yes. Very
and
good,
please,
baby. Very
you
good.
have to get your
Very
tourmalines.
good. Yes, yes,
Here you go, my
yes.
love.
You need your
Let
tools.
me
You
have-
need to be prepared.
Tourmaline.
Yeah, it's part of it. Yeah,
Here you go, baby.
yeah. We dealing with energies, everything's energy, and more. But we don't want to continue talking for too long. This is, I think, is good enough for today.
So next time, Blue Swan 333
House.
in the house.
Twin Flames, Miami Beach. Divine Peacock, Mama Peacock. Oh yeah.
DivineTwinFlames.com.